This is the 2023 Honda HRV, fully redesigned inside and out for the 2023 model year. And you may take a look at the exterior of this model and say, I didn't know it came in Sonic Gray. Well, it doesn't. This color is actually called Urban Gray. It's a little bit darker than Sonic Gray, but still a nice color available on these HRVs. So we're going to try and answer the question in today's video. Is this HRV Sport worth the price of $27,290? You may be saying, isn't that HRV Sport supposed to run for $25,690? Well, yes, it normally would. But because Holmes Honda added the following features, the price has gone up to $27,290. It includes auto butler to protect the paint, also window tint, all-season floor mat, also a cargo tray, and splash guards. Now, before I move too much further into the video, I know a lot of people will say, well, what are the percentages of window tint here? 40 on the front, 25 here on the side or side rear windows, and 12% on the rear window. Those percentages represent how much light is allowed into the interior with that tint on the windows. You're gonna have a very nice front end, very nice looking. Obviously, it looks different, a little bit more squared off, but still looks nice. Has a little bit of a swoopy angle to it of sorts here, not completely squared off. So that's gonna be a nice look for 2023. The LED headlights and the LED daytime running lights, and a very nice blinker design that follows the design and contour of the LED daytime running lights. That looks nice. You want to use that not only to let people know around you, know what you're doing who are driving around you, if I can keep from getting tongue twisted there, and it also looks nice. And a way to improve gas mileage, the air curtain right here that Honda has put in, and you might say, I can't see through there. No, you can't, but here's where the air comes out. You'll also find Honda Sensing, which is going to be right up here. It's a camera system as opposed to the radar system of years gone by for Honda Sensing. So that means road departure mitigation, lane keeping assist, adaptive cruise control, it's all there. Tire size is 225/55, wrapped around those black 18-inch wheels that really give this HRV Sport a sporty look. And that 55 series sidewall from here to here, that's the sidewall, that's going to help improve ride quality because of its height. So it has more absorption power when hitting bumps when driving down the road. The turn signal indicators built into the side view mirrors, and those black side view mirrors, definitely, again, a nice sporty look with the gloss black. You can have some gloss black here on the remote with remote start, I should say, right there, lock, unlock, and then the feature to push that and be able to open your rear door. Also, right here, tell me what you think. Should the rear roof spoiler be body color, or do you like it in gloss black as we see right there? And what about motivation for getting this HRV down the road? It's the 2-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder. It puts out 158 horsepower and 138 foot-pounds of torque, mated to a single-speed CVT or continuously variable transmission, but never fret, don't worry. It's actually very well behaved for what it is. This is a front-wheel drive model, and it gets 26 miles per gallon city, 32 on the highway, 28 combined. And according to Honda, it should get 3.6 gallons of gas used per every 100 miles driven. And to help make that a little bit easier to understand, the gas tank size is 14 gallons. And as we access the rear cargo area, let's talk about cargo capacity. 24.4 up to 55.1 cubic feet. You'll notice your rear cargo lighting, and then you will have the 12-volt power outlet right there. You've also got space underneath the floor. There's a tray under there that has the tools for changing a tire, and the spare tire is also located underneath that area. And how do you maximize your cargo capacity? Well, it's pretty easy to do. All you're going to do is come right here and use that release, and you can lower both sides of the 60-40 split rear seats. Now, the one thing that I do wish Honda had left alone for 2023 is right here. The magic seats are no longer here. Tell me what you think about that. And looking into the black interior, you do have the nice contrast stitching right here to kind of break up all that black, and then a door bin right here, well, enough to at least put a decent sized bottle in. Let's step inside and see how we fit. And there actually is quite a bit of space back here, believe it or not. And at 5'10", let's see, how are we doing right there? Let's see if I can give you a good idea. I'm sitting up pretty high. Let me make sure I'm in the best position possible. But you can see all that room that I have above my head right there. I'm 5'10", by the way. Now here there are no connectivity options in the rear seating area, but a little bit of space right here. And while there are no air conditioning vents on the rear of the center console with an interior of this size, I don't think that's going to be an issue. You do have the singular Mac pocket on the rear of the passenger side seat. Now, if you're somebody who's saying, I really don't want to be a passenger in the back seat with those smaller door bins, you better call Shotgun, or you better grab the remote before someone else does and sit on the driver's side. Here are your larger door bins on the front doors. More of that contrast stitching and some very comfortable, that's actually very well softened, I'd say, some soft touch materials right there for the armrest. And a quick look at the seats, just to give you an idea of the overall design, more of the contrast stitching there. And if the dashboard looks familiar, well, it should. If you haven't seen this before, it looks just like the 11th generation of the Honda Civic. That really is the direction that Honda is going with all of their vehicles. Now, here is the gloveless glove box. There's never any gloves in these glove boxes when I open them up, but there's your glove box, pretty deep. As you can see right there, you're going to have connectivity here in the way of a USB port, and then cup holders right there. There is the conventional style shifter. No push button shifter here. So if you don't like the push button shifters, well, that should make you happy. Your mode selector, there's your hill descent control and the power parking brake and brake hold mode, so that when you come to a complete stop, the brakes hold the vehicle when you take your foot off the pedal. And there is your center console, just to show you what all is there. But that's not all there is. Let's talk about the main area of attraction, for the driver at least. The driver's seat and what the driver will find. As you can see, there aren't many differences here between the driver's side door panel and what we saw on the passenger side, other than quite a few more controls right here. Controlling mirrors, lock and unlock, which is on the other side. You can lock the windows if you want to, and all 4 windows are controlled right here. You have one touch up and down for the driver and passenger side, but one thing you won't see there, child safety locks. Let's take a look at where those are located. And if you're going to hop into your HRV and explore things and there's nobody around, make sure that this button right here, it's on the driver and passenger sides, is in that up position, because when it's down like that, that means the child safety locks are active. So something good to know. And we'll go ahead and hop into the driver's seat here and hit the push button start. That is standard on all trim levels. So we'll do that. Give you a good look at the more modern than last generation looking instrument cluster, the digital speedometer up there, as well as the analog. You can go through quite a bit of the features on the vehicle through your steering wheel mounted controls right here. And then there is your adaptive cruise control. And there is that control I was talking about earlier. You use those blinkers. If you want to know how to activate those, that's how you do it. The up position is for the right, the down position is for the left. And again, that lets people around you know what you're doing, and it shows off those cool looking blinkers as well at the same time. And I can't say anything sarcastic about the control for the front and rear window wipers, but there it is on the right side of the steering wheel column, or the steering column. And the infotainment screen, let's take a quick look at that. You're going to notice that it's at a 90-degree angle now. It's not angled back like it used to be in the previous generation of the CRV, or excuse me, the HRV. Let's get that right, the HRV. Number one, that helps to reduce glare. Number two, it also helps to have the driver be able to keep their eyes on the road more easily, because they're still looking straight. They can look through the windshield basically at the same time as they're looking down at the infotainment screen if they need to do so. And yes, you do have the multi-view rear camera, as you can see, with trajectory lines. Let's see if I can get that to work. There we go. And the multi-views of the camera there, very helpful, very useful. And the honeycomb design for the dash right here. not only for the air conditioning vents, but all the way across. And you know where your air conditioning vents are because of the controls right there. And you have single zone climate control here. Again, for a small interior like this, not a problem. You do have heated seats, heated only. Would you like to see ventilated seats as well? That would be a good thing. And like I said, you've got the mode selector right here. Let's go through those modes and see exactly what we have. You're going to have snow, econ, and that is basically all you have. Normal as well. But you do have a sport mode too. If you want to drive in sport mode, you're just going to pull back to the S right there, and that is what you have. And one thing you may wonder about as well, obviously you're going to have the flip down visor with the vanity mirror, a light right there to help out as well. Make sure you don't use this when you're driving down the road. And let's see, does it go back? It does, and I like the fact that it goes back far enough to actually block the sunlight out instead of stopping right here like some vehicles do. So if the straight pipes guys are watching, you should be happy about that. All right, we're going to get out on the road for a quick test drive here. And you might wonder about the 158 horsepower engine under the hood. Is it going to be enough? Well, I believe it is. You know, you're going to get a wide range of opinions from different automotive journalists out there that are going to say it's not enough, or it's more than enough, it's whatever. And even things about ride quality. Some say that the interior, the seating itself, is not comfortable. The ride quality most certainly is, but the seating seems to be comfortable enough to me. It works. So, as far as the horsepower goes, yeah, it does seem to be enough. Now, I don't have the full-blown experience of having 5 people in the vehicle, 4 besides myself, because obviously you can fit 4 more people here into the interior, or a load of cargo or anything like that, to see what kind of a difference there may be. In this day and age, I know a lot of people are used to higher horsepower vehicles, but there was a time many, many years ago when even Corvettes didn't have much beyond 200 horsepower, maybe 185, I believe, at one point back in the 80s. So 158 horsepower is really not that bad. It gets down the road just fine, and you have to consider horsepower to weight. This is not a full-size SUV. If it were a Tahoe or a Suburban or something along those lines, yes, 158 horsepower would most certainly not be enough, but here it seems to work quite well. The leather-wrapped steering wheel is comfortable. I do like the way that this particular CVT in these HRVs seems to behave. It's a little bit better mannered, more well-mannered, I should say, than the previous models I've driven. So, you know, look, we got one right here in front of us. I think that the difference is quite noticeable. So we're going to go ahead and show this HRV up on the right-hand lane, in the right-hand lane, that we're a little better than they are. Okay, just kidding there. Some of you I know still really like the... Okay, let's make sure this person isn't going to pull out in front of us here, trying to pay attention to these drivers around here and drive defensively. It is Shreveport, Louisiana. We have terrible drivers. Anyway, before I was distracted by a potentially bad driver there, overall, everything here, really solid. Comfortable steering wheel. The responsiveness is good. The handling is good. Now, it's a front-wheel drive vehicle. It's not, this particular one isn't all-wheel drive, although that is available for HRVs. But still, you do have good, precise handling. A good low center of gravity. It drives well, it rides well, it performs well as far as just getting around. It's great for somebody who maybe lives in a really big city that just needs to zip around on a regular basis and not have to worry so much about having a larger vehicle. It's going to save on gas, it's going to make it easier to commute, and there is a reasonable amount of storage capacity in the rear cargo area, whether the seats are in the up position or in the down position, and it's easy to see out of. Of course, even if you have any trouble with that, you do have the great Honda sensing features to help with all of that, but overall, a very nice vehicle. If you're looking for a vehicle of some sort that isn't overloaded with technology, these HRVs are definitely something to consider. They have the right amount of technology in the right places with the right features, but not too much. So we'll do a quick little acceleration test here. I'm not going to floor it, but we're going to see how long it takes to get to the speed limit of 55. We're there right now. And keep in mind, I was at about, a little bit between quarter throttle and half throttle. So there's plenty here. What's not to like if this is a vehicle you're planning on purchasing? So tell me down in the comments section, do you think that after the options and features that Holmes Honda has added to this HRV, is it worth the price of $27,290? Or if it didn't have any of those options, do you still think it would be worth $25,590, which was the original price before these features were added? Tell me what your answer is and tell me why you answered the way that you did. Gotta say a special thanks to my friends at Holmes Honda for loaning me this HRV for the day, and all of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you want to know about other vehicles beyond this HRV that you may want to consider purchasing as well, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I'll see you there.